Hi, I'm Chap Bettis, author of The Disciple Making Parent, and this is my audio blog, where I read some of my blog posts in audio format for your convenience. In today's episode, we're going to be answering the question, are we more needy than previous generations? Well, I was recently having dinner with 5 couples after a speaking engagement, and one earnest mom who had become a Christian around the age of 17 asked me, do you think we as moms are more needy than previous generations? After all, my mother never read a parenting book. She was so sweet and sincere, I knew it wasn't a trap, even though as a man I felt it was a sensitive subject to address. But here was the essence of my answer that I gave to her. Number 1, no, you're not. Intentional parents have always realized that they were embarking on a new journey with limited information. And wise parents have always asked others for help. My own mother has told me about how she was desperate for help in the 1970s and found help from Dr. James Dobson. A wise parent, or really any person, seeks out advice on such an important endeavor. In addition, with a connected world becoming more godless, it's motivated the church to be more articulate in the things that it always assumed. This is the way many of the great statements of the church have come about. The process looks something like this. The church has practices and beliefs that is followed. The world or false teachers challenge those fuzzy beliefs. And then number 3, the church is forced to clearly articulate what it believes. So I think this is what we're seeing with the family now. For a long time, much of the culture had a biblical foundation, even if the outworkings were marred by sin. As that foundation has crumbled, true Christians are being forced to be more intentional and articulate in many areas, including a theology of the family. So, no, I don't think you are. And yet in other ways, yes, I actually think we are. I do think moms may be more needy, not inherently needy, but needy because of philosophy that we've allowed to take root. I do think today's moms are overly concerned about, quote, ruining their child. As a result, we believe that a good mother will hover over her children, provide for their every need, and never let them get bored. A, quote, good mother will follow her children around and be exhausted as a result. Somewhere in our minds, we believe that an exhausted mom is a loving mom. And then when the husband comes home, he has to help out because parenting is such exhausting work. Well, parenting is tiring work, and fathers absolutely should help out. But it doesn't have to be as tiring as some moms make it. See, we're raising our children to adulthood. It's not our job to meet their every need or entertain them every moment. There's a certain benign neglect that moms need to introduce to their children. And in addition, structures encourage children to be more independent and will give moms time to take care of their own needs. So, in buying this lie, I do think it can make today's moms needier than in other generations. When we think of previous generations where the mom and children had to work physically just to survive, well, there was no time for parenting nuances or meeting every need of the child. So, to the question about being needier than previous generations, I gently replied, no and yes. And the yes doesn't have to stay that way. Just be aware of this cultural, and it's even in Christian circles, this cultural insecurity that attaches itself to mothers and fight against it. Don't center your life on your child, but on Jesus Christ. Put your spouse before your children. Raise your children to be independent adults. And when they say you're ruining their life, smile and agree with them. Then send them outside while you take some time for yourself. If you enjoyed this post, there are more blog posts like this and resources like this at our website, thedisciplemakingparent.com. And I'd like to point your attention specifically to one resource that is of help to young parents. We call it Parenting with Confidence, and it's a 7-video lesson that includes a beautiful workbook that has a number of different articles that goes along with the videos. And it's meant to help parents, specifically parents of young children, think about things like routines and discipline and character charts. And it lays as well a philosophical and biblical foundation for parenting. So check that out at thedisciplemakingparent.com. Look for the Parenting with Confidence study. You can also check out parentingwithconfidencestudy.com. Well, I'm Chap Bettis. Thanks for listening.